old were you when you crossed the border with your mom?
3 months old.
Since then, did you have any trouble visiting Mexico?
Yes. When I was like 5 or 6, I remember being at the, I forget what building it was for the Mexico government. We had issues with my visa. Something wasn't right with it, so we got stuck in Mexico for an additional week, getting everything back in order.
What was it like growing up? Did anyone give you a hard time?
Well, yeah, it's cousins, brothers, sisters picking on each other, and my mom was pretty rough on me. Always made me do a lot of chores and stuff.
What are some of your favorite and least favorite memories growing up?
The favorites was, I would say, being so close to the entire family, which would include all my siblings and my cousins, along with my aunts and my grandparents. Forever cookouts, and in the summers we would always have like a monthly, actually like every other week, big cookout at the same spot, Eagle Creek. Couldn't wait for birthday parties, and just knowing I was gonna be able to play with all my cousins, even though we lived next door to each other.
And your least favorite memories?
Oh, when I had to do my chores. I don't know. I had a lot of good ones growing up. Getting disciplined, I could still feel the backhand from my grandparents, my grandma especially. Nightmares about La Chancla.
Okay.
Been pretty fortunate. The real tragic stuff didn't come till losing my cousin, my grandpa, and then obviously the additional family members, like my father-in-law, and had a lot of friends that passed away from just being inner city stuff, shot, or a lot of them were shot. So.
What was it like hanging out with friends? Did you notice that their family was any different from yours?
Oh yeah, there was a lot of difference. Really didn't have my father in my life, so I had a lot of friends that had the mom and dad family home. They're my best friends. You know, Dad basically was like my father, and but I was always envious, and always wanted to stay at their house. But then going home, I remember a couple times talking to my mom about, you know, So.
What was the hardest obstacle for you to overcome growing up?
Obstacles, and as far
as like people treating you differently or school or anything like that.
As far as being treated differently, it's something I'm always going to grow up with. It's never going to go away. Been treated differently by the police. First on, hands on. That was when they actually had a little more freedom back then to do whatever they wanted. Everything's being video recorded these days, so but they were able to get a lot away with more stuff. So it's kind of things like that I had to not really get over, but learn how to deal with it.
Did you ever help out your mom with work or anything like that growing up?
Oh yeah. She took care of us. She worked 2 jobs. She taught us the value of $1. Growing up, I'd help my uncles out just for extra money. Didn't want her really to pay for anything, since we knew how hard she worked. So if we wanted something, we'd do it ourselves. But that was like the great thing about growing up. And the way I did is because a lot of my family owned businesses. So if I wanted extra money, I'd go work at the garage. Even picking turnips in the fields. Yeah, it was a lot of Hispanics there, but the great thing about it was like my grandparents, my cousins, we did it together.
Did life change any after Gilbert came over? Because I know he came over later in your guys' teenage years.
Deep. Yeah, it changed a lot. Just basically, I think I was more excited to have a brother. So I looked up to him a lot. It was a lot of, I was excited. We all got back together, because obviously he was raised longer in Mexico because he's older, and then mainly by my grandparents. So that when he came to Indiana, it was pretty great.
How old were you guys whenever Miranda was born?
Oh man. I apologize, been working all night. Shoot, we were young. I really can't remember. 11, 12, something like that.
Did you guys ever help Mama take care of her?
I'm sure we did, but there's a lot of times we probably got in trouble by just being siblings and, probably picking on her and stuff like that. But, there was times that we watched her too, so.
What advice would you give to any young Latino men that are going through the same thing that you had to go through when you were younger?
And them being young now, I would say basically cherish every moment that you have with everybody in your family today. Because you don't know when they're going to be gone, or something happens, or I've learned how to cope with the still racism these days. It's not as bad, but it's still there. Learn the value of a dollar. Take acknowledgement that, if you do have my mom or her dad or both, how hard they worked. Just do better in school. And try to preach that to your kids when you get older. But just don't forget where you came from. And just family is the main thing.
Thank you.